What was your thoughts on Ryan Garcia versus To Go? That fight happened a little back, but what was your thoughts on his performance and how he performed?
Yeah, I didn't really catch the full fight. I was catching like some of it. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was at the Erickson Lubin fight. That's why I couldn't really watch it. It was like I was on my way there, so I couldn't really watch it. But Ryan Garcia, he talk about all this knockout shit, right? He's this big knockout puncher. He do all that. He talk all that, but he didn't knock out Tago. So knockout shit, cause my man, you didn't just knock out the last opponent that you just fought. So, he could stop with all that. And he said I was boring. He said this and that. Well, your fight with Tago was boring. So
One thing for sure and two things for certain, Linares and the JoJo fight last year were two of the most exciting fights last year. That's for sure. Another thing, this is surprising, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Ryan father Henry said Ryan hurt you and scored a knockdown in the amateurs against you. Is there any truth to that?
no, I never been knocked down in my life. Never been knocked down in sparring. I never been knocked down in a professional fight. Never been knocked down in an amateur fight. Those are lies. If you want to, just bring up the footage. All these fights are recorded. So if you really want to, he could bring it up. But I never been knocked down in my life. So that's cap.
If Ryan had so much success against you in the amateurs, according to his father, why is Ryan shying away to fight you right now in the pros for all the money in the world? Obviously, not for free like it was back in the amateurs. Instead, obviously he did petition not to fight you when he was your mandatory.
Ryan Garcia don't want to fight nobody. Ryan Garcia gonna call out all the top guys, everybody with a name. He do it for clout. He call out he acts like he's gonna fight some of the top guys, and in reality, he not gonna fight nobody. And we've seen this time and time and time again, whether it was Fortuna, whether it was Jojo Diaz, whether it was Linares, whether it was Isaac Cruz, whether it was Tank Davis, whether it was Manny Pacquiao. I mean, the list go on and on and on and on. And he's adding to the list as they go on.
One thing he did say, though, a year back, he said that he want to fight you last because he believes you're the best out of the Fabulous Four. He said you beat Tank, Kambosos, and Teofimo Lopez, even though you said he was the weakest link. He believes you the toughest link. With that in mind, when do you see Ryan being ready and willing to get in the ring with you?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say when he's ready or not. I don't really know. The fans would love to see the fight, so that would be a huge fight. We both make a lot of money. I mean, the fight should happen sooner or later, but I can't really say when he's ready. That's up to his team or whatever the case may be. Clearly, they don't think that he's ready.
Being attached to Devin Haney is Ryan Garcia. First of all, I want to get your take on Ryan Garcia's last performance against Tago, I believe his name is. What was your thoughts on his performance?
I did see the fight. I watch all the fights. So, I mean, I watch all the fights that I can. I can't say I watch all of them. But I did see that fight. And Ryan did what he was supposed to do with an opponent like Tago, who had a good record, but not necessarily a good record against elite competition, right? Former world champions and so on and so forth. So he did what he was supposed to do. I think that now he's back from a lot of the issues that he was going through and put his name in the hat. Like Devin has said before, is that you put him in front of him, he'll knock him down one at a time.
Well, Ryan Garcia's father, Henry, said that Ryan Garcia knocked down Devin Haney in the amateurs. What's your response to that?
Well, I said that he's ready to fight. I didn't say that he wasn't lying, Ryan Garcia. And, once you have a kid that's lying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So shout out to his dad and the best that he's doing in terms of trying to attach his name to Devin and attach with some success. One thing that you can do is you can type in Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, and you'll see Devin putting it on Ryan. You won't see the opposite. That's never happened before where he's knocked Devin down. Devin hasn't been knocked down before, ever. So that's just my take on it. I don't know what reason he was doing other than doing some unnecessary clout chasing when they've done a tremendous job with Ryan in terms of he's on commercials, he's doing a lot of things, he's on a YouTube sensation. So there's no reason for the lies about knocking Devin down. But you know what I mean, to each his own.
Obviously, Ryan Garcia have been shying away from fighting Devin Haney since he is Devin Haney mandatory. I don't know if he is still.
You know what? I think Ryan Garcia has been a mandatory not once but twice and didn't want to fight Dev. You know what I'm saying? And they say everything else other than fight. I mean, he mentioned some things like, what does he sell? What does he do? And who has he fought? And we killed every narrative in the sense of that he came back and got Emmanuel Tago, who hadn't fought anyone, right? Hadn't necessarily been on a main event card, hadn't even been on television. No one knew him. So that dispelled all the things of him saying of why he didn't fight Devin, right? Initially, he said that, you know, he was going to fight Tank. He was going to fight Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Two big names in the sport. Neither one of those materialized, and he kind of faded away. I think he was actually stripped from being the interim champion because he wouldn't fight Devin.
And JoJo got that title, and then he was supposed to fight JoJo.
Yes.
But then Devin Haney fought him. So now, obviously, clearly, Ryan have been shying away from fighting Devin Haney, and he even gave Devin Haney his credit by saying that at some point he did tell the truth and say that Devin Haney is the toughest out of the Fabulous Four, so he's saving him for last. Now, since Devin Haney is fighting for Undisputed, do you see Ryan Garcia now welcoming the fight, since Devin Haney killed all the narratives he did come up with from you ain't fought nobody, this, that, and the third?
We sure hope so, brother. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of the WBC title that Devin has held, and this will be his 5th title defense, wasn't enough to get the bigger names in the ring, right? The public wasn't able to force them to come in and fight for a world title at 135. So getting all the belts, hopefully that is the seduction to make the big fights happen. And if not, then we go up to 140, you know, and go up there and see what those guys are talking about.
What is the deepest division in boxing, in your opinion? Is it lightweight or welterweight?
You know what? It's I think the crop of kids in the lightweight division are younger. You know, then you got the older guys in the 147-pound division. So both divisions are deep with talent. I think that the 135 isn't as established, but very talented, right? But then you have the welterweight, an established division, but you have a lot of older fighters. But with the fight between Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence being a mega fight, right? You have to give credence to the welterweight division.
Ryan gave Devin Haney his first 8 count. However, in West Virginia, Ryan busted his eardrum.